and in this video we take a look at a list of items recovered from the Range Rover after the murders of Tucker, Tate and Rolfe.
It was a crime which pushed everything else off the front pages. 3 men, all known criminals, found shot dead in the Essex countryside. It was a cold-blooded, professional killing. The victims had many enemies, but which one wanted them executed?
And welcome back to a new video on the Essex Boys case. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the Essex Boys case, or simply true crime in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. The following police statement is from Mark Shelton, dated the 20th of the 8th, 1996. I am employed in the fingerprint laboratory at Essex Police Headquarters, Chelmsford. At around 9:30 AM on Thursday the 7th of December 1995, I attended in company with DS Ron Holloway a lane near White House Farm, Rettendon regarding a fatal shooting. This was to assist in any photographic or forensic work that had to be carried out. At around 1700 hours on Thursday the 7th of December, Mr. White and myself carried out a fingerprint examination of the Range Rover. 2 finger/palm impressions were found and photographed by Mr. White. On Friday the 8th of December at 12:15 PM, Mr. White and myself attended the mortuary at Chelmsford and Essex Hospital to hand over 8 rounds of ammunition to John Burns, Forensic Science Service in Huntingdon. On Tuesday the 19th of December at 1300 hours, Mr. White and myself attended South Woodham Ferrers Police Station to supervise the unloading of the Range Rover F424 NPE from its return from Huntingdon Laboratory. On Wednesday the 20th and Thursday the 21st, Mr. White and myself carried out a detailed fingerprint examination of the Range Rover, internal and external. We removed exhibits MS 1-23, which are as follows: rear offside door, rear near side door, rear back seat offside, rear back seat near side, driver's seat headrest, rear pocket and linings ×3, front passenger seat headrest, rear pocket and linings ×3, interior mirror, front middle air vent, centre console, Jif lemon fresh bottle, black reel of tape ×3, cassette box greatest hits, cassette box greatest hits, cassette tape 4, BFT alarm sensor, packet of tablets, green pen, Barclays receipt, tissue with writing, tissue plain, 1 pawn invoice, that's PAWN for the doubters amongst us, jar snuffle babe, gum wrappers, business card clear vision, penguin wrapper, torn pieces of paper ×3, piece of paper mobile hairdresser, gum wrapper, ignition key, Range Rover manual/warranty, gum wrapper torn papers ×2, mini battery scales/case, seatbelt clip front near side, seatbelt clip front offside, seatbelt clip rear near side, seatbelt clip rear offside, rear middle seatbelt strap/clip. Okay, now this might have been a video that I covered on my original channel, but I can't find it anywhere, so I've decided to make this video, as I say, again. And what we talked about in that original video are a few items which appear in the photographs in front of you here, but do not appear on that extensive list. We have a Walker's crisp packet, a plastic ring pull, and a Topic bar wrapper. Now, John Womes, who is Jack Womes' brother, he has appeared on a few documentaries and TV programs talking about these items, mentioning that they were not DNA tested. Also, what we have in front of us here behind the driver's seat is that little storage compartment there with further items. Now, it's incredibly difficult to tell exactly what those items are, but looking at it there, it looks like it could be potentially a part of the Topic wrapper maybe, or a part of a Walker's crisp packet again. Looks very similar to those two items though, most definitely. Also we have something which looks like, I guess you would say, scrunched up paper or potentially tissue. Very hard to tell though. But why were those items which we can clearly see in front of us here, as in the topic wrapper, the ring pull and the Walker's crisp packet, why were they not DNA tested? Now when you look at when these photographs were taken, this all ties up with it being taken back to Southwood and Ferrers, the plastic sheet being under the Range Rover as they discussed, and then these photographs being snapped. Now, some people may say, well, maybe they did test these items, they came back as connected to the three individuals, that's why these items aren't on the list. But what I would say, which counts against that, is the fact that we're not looking at a list here where they're saying, okay, rear seatbelt clip has been tested. They're not even discussing DNA evidence. They're basically talking about items which have been removed from the Range Rover. So where did these items disappear to? Were they not there when they were being removed? Well, I'd find that quite strange or quite hard to believe, considering that when they're talking about the time that they actually did this examination with the sheet under the Range Rover, this appears to have been around that exact same time period. So unless they've gone missing literally just before they've decided to start removing stuff from the vehicle, then clearly those items should have been there. Now, I think what I'm trying to say there is, in terms of the list I've just read out to you, that is a list of items which have been removed. This isn't a list of items which have been tested at this point. So it makes it even more odd that those items are not present in the back of the Range Rover. They're actually two of the most prominent items that you can actually see. Now, on one of the photographs, they've got a little arrow pointing to some shotgun cartridge wadding, I believe it is, but nothing pointing towards these two items which may well have DNA on them. Also, the fact that they're actually on the offside of the vehicle, the offside rear, exactly where they believe the fourth passenger was most likely sitting. So why are these items not incredibly important during the search? Or where are those items? I guess that's the most important question. Where are those items? If the gunman or someone who was connected or involved in this murder sat in the back behind the driver, then that's exactly where these items are found. Also, another item which seems to have slipped this list is the black head bag. By all accounts, there was a black empty head bag in the back of the Range Rover. I think it was in the boot, I'm not 100% sure, but it may well have been in the boot, but wherever it was inside the vehicle when they recovered it. An empty black head bag. This head bag, yet again, along with the topic wrapper, along with the crisp packet and the plastic ring pull, are completely absent from this list. Now, as I've been editing today's video and looking at the photographs, the crime scene photographs from the back of the Range Rover there, I've noticed yet another item. So we've got the topic wrapper, we've got the ring pull, we've got the crisp packet, and also, which you've probably spotted at home, I would imagine, there's a 1p piece also in the back of the Range Rover, which does not appear on that extensive list. Let me know your own thoughts regarding these items in the comments section below. Why do you believe they do not appear on this list? And were they ever tested for DNA?